Okay, let's do a review of everything to do with complex nouns. Number one, first of all, what is a complex noun?
It's a noun that is complex.
It's a noun that is complex.
It's a noun that is so starts with the ones, who, what, whatever, whoever, and it's much longer than a complex and much longer than a normal noun, but it can play the same roles as a normal noun.
Exactly. So it's a longer and more complex noun, but it still behaves like a normal noun.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So, a complex noun, the mechanics of a complex noun, it's made up of two parts. The first part is
the complex noun word.
Yeah, the complex noun word, and we learned them in Arabic, and they are
الذي, which is the one who,
which is the one who,
that which,
and the plural of that was
الذين,
those who. And then there was a feminine version as well.
التي,
which
is that which, or
the one who. And then we also had
ma and men.
Ma, which means
whatever
or what, and men, which means
whoever.
Okay, so it'll always start with one of these words, and then following this will be what?
Either a full sentence or a TLDR fragment.
Right, either a full sentence, and only one type or both types.
It can be either action or is.
Yeah, either action or is, or it'll be followed by a TLDR phrase. Okay, so those are the mechanics. And then we talked about something called an awkward pronoun. What was that?
It's a pronoun that sometimes comes after the complex noun or within this complex noun sentence. And it's something that only exists in Arabic. It doesn't exist in English.
Right.
So we ignore it in translation.
Right. It comes in the Arabic, so we ignore it in translation.
Because it sounds awkward in English.
Yeah. So remember we saw that they were upon it, which sounds awkward. You just say that they were upon and ignore the it, which is the awkward pronoun. Okay. True or false? You can separate the complex noun from the sentence or TLDR phrase that comes after it.
False.
False, big false. Remember we talked about the capsule?
Yeah.
Right? And what was the capsule?
So, the complex noun and the thing that comes after it, they always act as a single unit.
Right, they act as one unit.
And you can't separate them. So you kind of, you protect them in like a little bubble or a little capsule.
Yeah, they have to be protected in a little bubble and a little capsule, and that entire unit together plays a role in the sentence.
Yeah, when we saw in the first lesson, like the king stole people's money or something, and then we said the one who rules this land stole the people's money, and so if you ask, okay, who stole the people's money, you'd answer the one who ruled the land. You can't just say the one who or the one who rules.
Exactly. The whole thing together plays a role. Can't separate it. Good. And then we talked about complex nouns in context. First we looked at them in fragments. So how do we recognize the role a complex noun is playing in a fragment?
So you look like the same way we recognize normal fragments.
Exactly, same as normal fragments.
So you look at the word before. If there's a TLDR, that means it's a TLDR phrase. If you have a sentence starter, it's a sentence starter fragment. And then if it has a general word before it,
right,
then it is possessive because complex nouns are always specific,
right,
so it's
general.
Technically general and specific. And then if there's a specific word before it, it's descriptive because, again, it's specific and specific because they're always specific. And there is one last thing with descriptives, because you can sometimes describe a possessive fragment.
Right.
So if you have a possessive fragment coming before the complex noun, in that case you also have a descriptive.
Right.
It's like my black cats.
Yeah, the my black cats thing. Good summary. And then you had made the observation that the complex noun is always the second word in the fragment. And that's why we look at the word before it to figure things out. Good. And then we looked at complex nouns on a sentence level. And what methods did we use to recognize those?
So within action sentences, we use the same method as we used with label-less words.
Right.
And then within is sentences, basically if it's before is, it's before is. And if it's after is, it's the after.
Exactly.
Or before the break or after the break.
Yeah. And is sentences, we just look to see if it was before break or after the break. That was easy peasy. And then which do we check first? Meaning fragment level or sentence level?
I guess you'd make sure it's not part of a fragment before you zoom out into the sentence.
Exactly. We want to check for the smaller things before we zoom out. So make sure that it's not part of a fragment, or else you'll sit there trying to figure out what role it's playing in the sentence before you realize that it's actually just part of a fragment.
Okay.
So do the word before check, right? If you see a complex noun, check the word before. And if it's part of a fragment, then your work is done. If it's not, then you do the sentence level check. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All clear?
Mm-hmm.